How can we stop these evil killers? He thought, and his face was immediately serious. Towards the Sea of Dung said, "Now at this time, I gave it to the Emperor. The art of the ocean. General Department of Law. Accept 370 generations of blessing." The three great families left the place of the tribe and split up. Take your own people away. In addition to three owners, the old man can understand the meaning of the most evil. The rest of you are confused. What were their parents saying earlier? I don't understand why. Long March Van follow behind Long Dat Phi. Do not doubt or ask. Long Dat Phi laughed mystically. Proud to raise your head. This is a big bad boy. If you can see out, you can be the owner now. Long March Van heard immediately stunned. The fear in my eyes grew stronger. Education is so deep here, Sao So Se Ra. Maybe the world has seen it from the beginning. We are enlightened under his prompting. Yes, it must be a rare occurrence. I don't know what kind of background he has. There was the eyes of the Lord. No blame, even impermanence, is in his hands. In my eyes flashed a ray of light. Long Buddha Africa sighed silently applauding. Hear this word. Long March deeply understands. Most likely, how powerful is the world? They're all from the same time. But his talent is much stronger than theirs. Deep-seated mindset, great power grasps the human heart. This man is the real strong man. Another aspect at the academy grounds where the peanut. Lost in the sea. Most people want to teach themselves. Her eyes showed a little expectation. Anyone can see it too. The depth of his psyche is unfathomable. Only others don't think. There's nothing you can't do. So he's really looking forward to learning a lot. The most popular resignation. Share the burden with you. Keep your eyes on him. Probably the coldest voice. Van Hai, I know. Friend and support with the enemy before. Is ours AI? It was a deep dive for a while. Finally speak up. Min friend is the long-armed flower of the royal palace and potential long. The support is 7 and my father alone you. Old Marshal. Of course, the enemy is the emperor. So now what? The most sure thing is to keep asking. Can't help but be stunned. The sea in his eyes flashed a dark ray now. It's not the same. No, it's changed. Slowly shaking his head. The most serious explanation. You have to remember. Life is for the benefit. All hostile relationships and friends are illusory. That really brings everyone together. There are only benefits. M-positive intergenerational, yin and yang each other. Between yin and yang changing back and forth. Enemies' friends convert each other. If you look at them, both sides are perfect. When you see yourself as an enemy, your enemy will be defeated 7 times. This is the yin and yang worldview of the Chief France Department. To want to be the owner for a lifetime, you have to hold it for good. When I heard this word, I fell into silence. Finally calmly nod. Most likely, keep talking. Let's take a picture this time. Before the Ming family, the emperor and the marshal are our rock. Because there are common interests. But after we get the dragon's soul. There is number 7. Allow carriers to carry geography. Long soul walking on the street. Fang Thursday Bai and Marshal Jung with Emperor 7th. Before, you were friends. It is mostly neutral now. They can turn into enemies at any time. You can't have no room. I have to remember. Unconsciously fall into fear of the whole business. I really don't think about it. It's only a few days. That's how the world changes. Even the woman he respects. You can be an enemy to him at any time. This is really hard to accept. Whether he can accept it or not. The current situation is determined. He can only accept that. Most likely, continue to explain. What about the king? He is still our enemy now. But we have to be qualified. Become his enemy. There's no support now. The emperor can crush us at any moment. Of course we're no longer afraid of him. But once we start the war, both houses will be seriously damaged. Finally the fishermen profited. This is what we don't want to see. So we declare war first. Think about how to show them the power. The price to pay too much. They're not stupid enough to start a war. The 7 is the same. This will form a three-way street. But in the Court of the Wind, Lone Lesbo Battlefield and Emperor, they soon formed 3 sets. To restrain balance. If so, we're safe for now. Just waiting to finally find a fool with no eyes. Open this dead thing. Take advantage of the inside. The world is in your hands. Words just finished. And everyone here is stunned. They don't even think about it. A small family of 3 like a lost family. Now it's straight to the world. It's like seeing their minds. The worst of all laughed out loud. Ha ha ha. In this world the weak will be oppressed, the strong will be looked upon. Without any AI or clans. You can only worry about your body. If you want to live in peace. It can only grow forever. So strong that everyone can't reach. The word just ended. The man of the tribe immediately appeared. That's right, they want to grow, and they have to grow. It's not just to protect the family, the ocean is calm. It's about avoiding the risk of being watched. What he wants right now is to expand his fortune. The lost can grow the most. Maybe no one would touch it. Just like that. Only they can protect themselves. Because you don't want to. Next to him there is someone who suffers the same fate. The 1/7 book is enough. Think about here. He immediately turned towards the stragglers. Let's go back to the forest. Morning the next day. Outside of Vanlong. Your lone army right now. Prepare to go back to the Empire. That's the difference after being most sure of explaining the world. Currently, decided to send off the 5 lonely sons of heaven. To return to the forest. So I'm here right now. To hear the will of the sea. Miss Feng is a little helpless to say. I really want to go back to my family. Not in the sub-sense of killing Sao enemies. Slowly nodding, Hai smiled seriously. In addition to the mother, there are 4 elders helping. But Hai is the only son. They should go back with the family. Secondary meaning. The woman sighed a little and said, The sea is big. The tiger is not a soldier led by the devil. Lost in the sea for a while. Finally headed towards the lonely sky. Hugging the right to respectfully say, "Thank you for 5 years of teaching. But if the day after my father, we really have to meet. Please don't worry. I will not be in love." What this word just came out. For lonely people scared and screaming loudly. There's only one girl, the sky in her eyes is slightly shrinking. Understand it all. Sigh and say, "You already know that now. That kid must have told you, right? But he's him, you're just lost and he." But I didn't wait for him to finish. Hai has embraced the right to bow and respectfully say. Meaning sub. No, he's lost us, so far nothing. There's no such thing as our father today. You taught me Chinese before. How can you do the 7 faiths? Over the drawbridge. More than that, he is a pillar. Of the straggler who didn't take off his. How can I do this kind of stupid thing? Hey ha ha ha, no, tiger is the son of the lonely girl of war. Of course, we can do it to the full extent. Even if we have to meet at SA school later. You are still the pride of the old man. She alone can't help but be arrogant. Looking towards the lost Van Hai. Finally, he turned around and left Van Hai. We're going down to completely different paths, though. But our fatherly love. Forever unchanged. The eyelids are a little agitated. He actually saw her as his father. Together for 5 years, love is not less. But the world has changed now. They are inseparable. The situation brings about two opposing sides. Now he can only show a little respect. With her alone, battle alone. Think of him kneeling on the ground. Bow to the glass. Send off the 5 lonely warriors. Meaning of care. 371 in another way. Before leaving. Tend to pull the divergence often to the side. Laughed and said, "The lost lady will probably ask you to take care of her later." He asked me to take care of him, and he asked me to take care of him. A little frown is a mouth-watering award. Is a haughty lady figure who's pampered. Although I appreciate your willingness to help track the most. Back to normal. But the misfits often don't want to give in. In love story. So how many enemies are visible on the face? This moment. She's like the kind of woman with the sour lemon. They fight for men all the time. I don't understand what the status is here. With the same tendency to shout out loud. Look at her expression. She suddenly burst into laughter. NDTO shows this size. She can't reach it. Beyond the present. Only she and the misfits usually care about him. She will soon leave. There's only one way to get lost. Not wanting to compare with her, she lost her dignity. He just smiled and said, I mean, you have to take care of his heart. Let him know that he is not alone in this world. Already said. Suddenly, in your hands, a new world appeared. Put it in the usual. Leave without saying any more. Divergence is often seen. This scene is scary, but there is a bit of anger. This is the ring. Probably the most worn on hand. There are 3 in total. The remaining 2. Give me the incense to stop with the sky. And he's got a fourth for the city. That she alone is not there. Bite your teeth in anger, running towards the surest of the world. Everyone who meets you will also give gifts. Only we don't have it. Where did you get this ring? His eyes breathed a cold voice. To see him angry is an impurity in the heart of the whole sutra. Immediately muttered in a low voice, my boss told me to take care of it. Throw it away, don't want to hear another word. The most impatient of all hands. Fish and the sky. It means so much to me. He then turned to the angry homeless. Scare what you are doing. Get ready to go quickly. State dominated next door. The most likely look is loud with ordinary confusion. Cried out anxiously, my lady. People often don't pay attention to him. Softly frowned to think. Then the police tend to have this idea. He really became a lonely man. And without hesitation, I put it on my hand. In the eyes, the steady ray. If they were in love with you. So she tried to pull him out of his solitude. A different dimension in a lush jungle. The dark shadows lurking on the tree trunk. Look at the direction the 5 strangers left. Eyes revealed rays of evil. But these people are the people of Yumin Cup. Now an aggressive black shadow bites its lips. Anger says the lost family deserves to die. There was a high priest at the top of the town. We can't touch them this time. You penalized paint the eyes of Yin and Ling, slowly shaking his head. 5 elders are not made by feelings. Even if there's no prayer. Probably not a human right now. We can deal with it. Suddenly there's a shadow coming. Speak slowly, yes. The peanut now has a human essence. There are also Gao players such as the celestial calendar. It was a day-to-day existence that descended 7 miles. It's also very difficult for us to move. Based only on the power of Yumin Cup. There's nothing we can do about it right now. On the contrary, if the treatment is not good, they may be betrayed and lead to destruction. The cold hat man glanced at him, laughing and saying, Yumin, you've become more and more bossy lately. The elder dared Chun to come in. Slowly take off the shirt. Exposed the cold teenage face. No one else is a disciple of the devil. It's just that he's much more stable now than he was that year. He glanced at him with a glance. He looked back at the old man and laughed. Great elder. This guy fosters well. There are 7 of his temperaments. Ha ha ha, the owner is so complimented. He is the father of 7. The old man is just another point. Also lucky. This time I won't let him attend this show. Otherwise, you will be killed by that monster. Then in the morning we have no hope. Just thought of the scene in the mountain. The old man trembled and said, since he died 7 years ago, I have suffered a lot. They are used as guns. I hope it's you. He can take his responsibility. 7. To support the patriarch of family development. What about the previous hatred? Now let's not forget. That's right, humans are probably too scary. Even the impermanent lackey. It was also in his hands. Plus now he's got enough feathers. It is difficult to touch him. Yu Min in his eyes flashed the light also agreed to say. The Lord heard the words of the two. Immediately fell into meditation. Finally he nodded. Now think again. They have since met the worst. I've never seen anything good. This time the power is strong. If you still face Yu Min Cup, the more they have no interest. Just thought of this. He looked back at Yu Min again. What strategy do you have? The master once said when he was alive. All evil plots are made by people in the delusion. The Emperor has declared war on the lost. We'd better not get our hands on this. Jump out of the fight, find another way to go. The other way, you say? The 5-year-old next to him raised his eyebrows suspiciously. His word is not over. Yu Min stuck his mouth to explain. The present is surely ordinary and impermanent. These two evil people are fighting each other. Whether we participate in, it's not their opponent either. Then we bet on the future. The future of the mountain people looked at each other, full of incomprehensible fascination. I see people's doubts. My mouth is confident, you're right. Our goal is the empire. It's like O1A I found out. 2 photos, since the 100 families of Min has appeared so far. Still haven't left completely. Grasp the whole world of power in heaven. Currently, the sky is getting more and more chaotic now. Not only the 7th generation fighting, even the 4 emperors 7 very quickly will be involved. In the forest of rebellion, you choose them, that boy can handle it. One old sound laughed out loud. Hear this word. The rest of the image suddenly laughed. Don't worry about your own business. He is the one who looks at them. Absolutely no less than the deity. Waiting for 3 years later, I personally picked him up to wash his previous shame. You really trust him like that? The monsters of other tribes. No one is worse than him. Caca. You can buy 9 bottles in exchange. I dare not guarantee. On the contrary, you are trying to fool a girl. Your master is worse than the devil. We are many. I can't help laughing and laughing. When he heard this, he was angry and cold. Too bad everyone cooperates. Who gets what he needs? What's shameful or not? 10 parts of confidence to speak up. Great to get what you need. So this time we don't owe each other. Later, the 2 sides will meet. Don't blame me for not being a coward. Of course you are like your disciples. It will definitely win. You wait for me to be angry for an hour. The image shakes me away. The crow here doesn't stop laughing. I said I wasn't sure before. But after that kid joined us, I will make sure you lose your pants. Caca. 372 returned to the city. 3 months later, the 5th team of the most ordinary track finally back to the forest. I was standing in front of the black paint. There's a little feeling again. After so many years, I finally came back to this place. Right now in front of the big battle. Shinto openly laughed out loud for an hour. The butler welcomes you back. The old man came to lift the ban. Slowly put on the strongest hand, revealing a happy smile. No need to open it myself, said and turned his head to the stern in the back. Strictly follow you here. I don't dare to celebrate 7 days. He hurried to the most humble man. The butler has something to tell you. You're welcome, you'll see him soon. Your master is about to be in synchrony. After all, you are also a lost man. Method of opening the ban of the great battle. I give it to you now. Stand by to see clearly. The stern body could not withstand the shock. A little agitated, no words. Seriously, leave. How many years has he lived with hatred? At this moment, he was able to see his master again. That he is mindful of. Why can't I get excited? Finally, he looked at the front door. The worst of the world slowly opened the seal, shot it and open. Lifting according to his scream. And then there's an oscillation. The light scatters a path to the top. Black fung paint. Most likely, slowly turn your head. Look at the stern side, coldly laughing. After all, this is your family. You and your master. And the words aren't finished yet. At the top of the mountain, there was a loud noise. The dust crashed into their faces. Attached to that, there's a loud shout. The ears are ringing endlessly. Caca, who do you think you two are? The earth or the sky? I also dare to manage the fate of our 4 demons. The face immediately dropped. Most likely, he raised his head and looked ahead. The 4 demons that deserve to die. There's no why here. It's a little bit of a good mood. Follow them and cancel it. Only inside the black fung paint. There was some shame on his face, and he said, "This is the butler." I saw that his face was not good. Shy to speak up. The old butler went to deal with these 4 guys. You don't need me. Slowly put on your hand. It seems to be closer to the voice. When he finished, he lifted his feet forward. Everyone immediately follow. God saw that and laughed. The fakir demons this time will definitely be recorded 11 times. Wait until everyone gets to the top of the mountain. The surrounding is everywhere ruined. No one dares to look straight. They're finally here to watch the war. Or is it destroying the house? Why did this happen again? Needless to say, they know. That's what the 4 demons do. That sometimes the sound of destruction is heard inside. The ant serum is screaming like crazy. 4 of you bastards. I want to destroy the 1,000-year-old mirror. He will definitely have to kill you. Hi, old lady is still looking in the mirror. Cancel is right, cancel, cleverly. Loud laughter said. The ant's face became more and more angry. My 2 red eyes want to scream. The sheep next to him shouted angrily. Don't talk shit to them. Use life and death. The words that just came out of the temple were immediately astonishing. These guys are crazy. They fight to the point of using life and death. This move will destroy the entire Ra tribe. They don't know what to do with it. This is the greatest taboo of all. There's no doubt about it. The worst of them will punish them. Just thought of this. The Lord hurried to say. My butler stopped them. No need. The strongest forehead in the world is now filled with blue veins. Two holding hands tightly to the right of anger. These people work without thinking about the big picture. You have to teach them once. To avoid later not having why here. There's nothing to do, just messing around all the time. The voice that was the most certain was determined. The 6 people inside immediately screamed in pain. The murderous devil rolled on the ground crying out in pain. What's going on? 5 years without pain, now it hurts again. I know it's blood. The King of 8 is back. The devil's shrewd in the eyes condensed screaming. Serum ants with sheep inflammation high. It doesn't stop hurting now. Kneeling on the ground. And scold the 4 idiots. He doesn't know how to control blood. What have we been cheated on? Can't help but startle. The devil bit his teeth. But he doesn't know this trick. Why does our head hurt so much now? Bad. 4 idiots still have to ask why such a scary trick. There are many people who can use hung. Glare their eyes. The ant serum bit its teeth holding down in pain. In my eyes, I saw that boy is back. Her words just ended. The devil is immediately terrified. The evil boy is finally back. Their final day is coming. Think about it, the face is not unsightly. Cry no tears. At this time most people are probably. Tears finally reached the top of the mountain. I looked at 6 people on the ground. I just saw him appear. The 4 demons trembled with fear and bowed their heads. I dare not utter a word. Sheep inflammation high together. The ant serum here is a little smarter. I know once I use this. Any prayer is useless. I thought and turned to the next door. Hurry to pray for him. You told the butler. It's those 4 little demons who caused trouble first. It has nothing to do with us. The surgeon sighed. They looked at them with a low voice. The butler may not know why. But you shouldn't say you want to use life and death. This is not the same as canceling Rossau. That's stupid. But we're just talking, not really doing it. To people with miserable faces said. But right now. Again look at the divergence that's usually in the back going to. It's like catching a life-saving straw. To people who tend to diverge often raise their voices low. Great lady. Misfits often see this. Smiling so they can rest assured. Look at her smile. See sheep with ant serum. Touched about to cry. It's not in vain. They were friendly with this lady. The important moment really works. Go to the hall. Most likely sitting on top. And everyone was crying, and followed in. Silence without a word. It's just normal shit on one side. Love for the couple. Sheep inflammation high. Most people know that the 2 of them are not wrong. It's just that the fakir demons went crazy. It's not without reason either. So change the rules and forgive them once. All right, respect your face. This time I forgive you first. Remove the pain to people. The sheep immediately bowed their heads. I'm glad to say thank you. At this time seriously. When I heard that my disciple also came. Rushed to the hall. Bow your head with the most precious one. And then look at it and shout it out loud. Disciple. Unconsciously and stupidly, he looked at the person in front of him in disbelief. Doubt or ask. You are my master. Ha ha ha, of course. He was embarrassed and laughed. At the time of the pilot eating 8 qualities of Lin Dan of Track the Butler, all toxins in the body are eliminated. How young again, 10 years old. Why, handsome. The master spoke to me earlier. When the master was young. You don't practice those 7 colors. Also rich Tuan too. Enchanted thousands of girls. Now you see I'm not fooling you. I was so excited to hear that. Get on your knees in a hurry. Tears came out. Yes, you are my master. That year. You only tell lies in front of me. This is a secret only the 2 of us know, master. Disciple. He was also very excited to get him up. They've been separated for so long. Finally meet again, the emotion can't speak. Probably on one side. They don't look disturbed. Wait for them to talk about it for a while. Just stabilize the mood and start to delegate. I respect that you are young. I can't carry a place alone. Let's start with the deacon of the lost family first. Multipurpose strict dress track fostered butler. Solemnly embraced the right to bow, and respectfully replied. Assignment done. Most likely, he smiled with satisfaction. But right now, he suddenly feels like he's forgotten something. But thinking all the time doesn't work. He decided to leave it alone. No need to think anymore. I really forgot one thing. It's the 4 demons outside. He hasn't released their blood yet. So right now, 4 people still suffer. Holding my head moaning on the ground. The devil's sharp face hurt the heart of the West paralyzed. Suffering says, Lord, have we been forgotten? Looks like that. The murderous devil is equally painful. Cry no tears said. Another dimension. 2 lonely people fighting with Fuang Thursday by. Bring the results of the 100 Min paintings this time. Return to the imperial capital. The emperor had just heard the results. Shouted in amazement. Everything you just said is true. Yu Vu's son strictly sold the devil and Lam Ful Feng. Even the head of the universe. The youngest life of the Holy Spirit. Except 371 another aspect before leaving. Tend to pull the divergence often to the side. Laughing at the lost lady. Maybe I'll ask you to take care of it later. He asked me to take care of him, and he asked me to take care of him. A little frown is a mouth-watering award. Make a haughty lady look to be pampered. Although I appreciate your willingness to help. Everything is back to normal. But often confused, I don't want to give up on love. So how many enemies are visible on the face? This moment. She's like the kind of woman with the sour lemon. They fight for men all the time. I don't understand what the status is here. With the same tendency to shout out loud. Look at her expression. She suddenly burst into laughter. NDTO shows an exaggerated bell of this size. She can't reach it. Beyond the present. Only she and the misfits usually care about him. She will soon leave. There is only one way to ask for help.